celebrating everything the Coastal Bend has to offer.
This is a great place to live, so let's talk about it.
Get the scoop on the latest trends, popular fashions, hottest music, exciting events, and so much more.
Come on, let's have some fun.
This is Coastal Living on KZTV.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coastal Living and happy Tuesday. Jocelyn, how are you feeling this beautiful Tuesday?
Oh, I am feeling blessed. I am feeling grateful and just excited to take on the week, Clarissa. We're only on day 2 and it's going great so far. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Of course, it kind of feels like a Monday because we had Monday off. So we're excited to be here. We're excited to start off the week with a positive attitude. And today we're taking sort of a different approach. We're going to do a little Talk About It Tuesday thing. Some of you have written in some questions and you trust us to give you some of our own advice on what to do in these situations. So Jocelyn, I have a question. I'm going to need your help answering it from a viewer. Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, so we're obviously in wedding season and sometimes it's hard to understand appropriate wedding etiquette. What do I wear? What do I say? What do I buy, right? Well, we have a viewer that wrote in and said, "Hi, Coastal Living ladies." Hello. My husband and I were not invited to his second cousin's wedding. Okay. What is the etiquette regarding gift giving? And should I purchase a gift? What would the recommendation be? What should I get? Basically is the question. So I'm going to let you start this one, Jocelyn. I feel like when it comes to etiquette, you're pretty strategic about what's proper and what's not. So I'm going to start with you on this one.
Well, Clarissa and we just want to remind you all, we're not here to say anything inappropriate or wrong. We're here to give you the advice that we believe. So please, no judgment, everyone. If this was involving etiquette with how to dress, I think I would have the correct answer. But as far as a gift, I am someone who takes gifts very seriously. But if I know I wasn't invited to something or to a wedding that I am, whether I'm close to that person or not, I would probably gift them with a Bible or something and get their name engraved. Something like that. I mean, you can't go wrong. And that just kind of reminds them how amazing of a person you are. And I'm pretty sure you're an incredible person. So gift them with kind of like a devotional or a Bible or some sort. Clarissa, what do you think? What would you get them? Or would you get them a gift?
Well, I do like your Bible idea. And with this question, I'm assuming that you were invited to their first wedding and just not the second one. Now, a second cousin is pretty distant, so I wouldn't say that for me personally, there would be a lot of pressure to be invited to that wedding. Typically, a second wedding is like on a smaller scale anyway. You don't go big like you did the first time. So in my opinion, if you do decide to get a gift, do something that's relatively within your budget. You don't have to go above and beyond. Send a kind message and know that you support them. Jocelyn and I typically like to just take the higher ground and be the bigger person in these types of situations. So even if it hurt your feelings, if it really bothers you, maybe it's something that you can bring up in the future. But for now, just get them a nice gift, something that will support this new marriage, this new journey that they're partaking together. And just keep it simple, keep it civil, and keep the drama out of their lives. Because we all know that there's a lot of drama that comes with weddings in the first place. So the less that you can be a part of that, the better. So that's my advice.
I love it. I love that you said keep it simple, keep it civil, and also be the better and bigger person. So yeah, I think we answered that in the best way we possibly could.
I think we did too. And if you're watching and you're like, you know what, I do have a question for Clarissa and Jocelyn to answer, we'd be happy to help. So feel free to write in on our Facebook. You can find our website and email there as well, or our Instagram messages, and we would love to address this on the show. We might be onto something here. We'll talk about it Tuesday moment. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, let's talk about this. Miss Alyssa Pena has not been on our show. She has been out of Coastal Living for way too long, and it is time to bring her back. So we want you to do yourself a flavor and listen to her culinary advice. Let's say hello to Miss Alyssa Pena.
Hi everybody, my name is Alyssa Pena with Jalapeno Salsa, and summertime in Texas means one thing, shrimp ceviche tostadas. Let's get started. First thing we're gonna do is we're going to zest and juice 2 lemons, 2 large lemons, and 3 medium-sized limes. We want to do a mix of those, and that's what's going to cook our shrimp. Next, we're gonna take this shrimp, we're gonna take it over to the sink, and we're gonna peel and devein these guys, get them going in here. While that's going, we're gonna get everything else ready. Come on. Once your shrimp is all clean and deveined, we're gonna cut these into 3 pieces. Now these are 1620 shrimp, so they're on the big side, but you have to remember that it is gonna shrink a little bit once they're cooking in the lime juice or in the lime lemon mixture. So you're gonna wanna cut these big enough so that they hold up, because this has to be the star of your show. We're gonna cover this and we're gonna put it in the fridge for an hour or up to 3 hours to get everything cooked. And you'll know when they're cooked when they're nice and pink. Want to make sure that it's nice and submerged all the way down, that it completely covers your cut shrimp, so it can cook on all sides all the way around. So once that goes there, we're going to cover this and we're going to put it in the fridge. So here's one that I did earlier this afternoon. This is about 2 pounds of shrimp. It's been marinating in the lime and lemon juice for 3 hours. You can see the color that this has on here now, how it's nice and pink. You can tell that it's cooked. The juices have mixed with all of the shrimp flavor, all of the natural shrimp flavor from cooking in this acid. And so here's what we're gonna do. This is a very traditional way to do this. So now we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients, and then we're ready to rock and roll. So I used 2 of these baby cucumbers, which is about a cup. We're gonna mix that in. Some grape tomatoes, this is also about a cup. I quartered these and then I let them drain so that they're not super liquidy. And I like using the grape tomatoes because they've got a nice tartness. We're gonna use about a half a cup of red onion, diced super small. And again, all of these, you wanna dice them so that they're small enough to not steal the show from your shrimp. We want that to be the main character here. This is about a tablespoon of garlic, and so we're gonna add that in here, fresh garlic diced. This is the zest from our lemons and limes that we juiced to cook the shrimp in. This is 1 serrano pepper, seeded and diced super teeny tiny. Now, because we're gonna add some spicy habanero at the end, you can leave this in, take it out. Let's get really spicy, because y'all know me, I want it hot. So we're gonna get nuts. Cilantro, again, this is if you want it, great. If you don't want it, that's fine too. I like to go both ways with it. Also, you can use parsley if somebody in your family doesn't like cilantro, like my crazy sister. This is a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm gonna add that in here. And this is your seafood blend of choice. So you can do Old Bay. I personally like the Coastal Connections one from H-E-B, and we're gonna use just a little bit of that. And it's gonna give it nice tang. It's gonna get all those beautiful flavors in here. It's got a little bit of salt in there, so you wanna make sure not to add more salt than you need. But look at this, it's gorgeous, it's fresh. All of these colors are summer, they're on the Gulf Coast. You can put a top on it and put it in the fridge until you're ready to go. Take it out with you. It'll last up to 36 hours in your fridge once it's covered. So you can serve this ahead of time. You can make this ahead of time and take it. I like it immediately after everything has been cooked, so that you don't alter the flavor or consistency of the shrimp that you want. I think that's very important. Okay, so now we're gonna get our tostada. We're gonna put it right on top. We're gonna add a little avocado on top, and everybody's gonna love it. And for the super spicy lovers like me, I like the serrano, and I like a little bit of this creamy habanero on top. Just a little drizzle, because this packs serious heat. Put a little bit of this on top. Perfect for a bright sunny day, summer in the Gulf Coast. There you go.
Beautiful face again, and we can't wait to have her back. My tummy is rumbling and I am ready for a delicious snack. Okay, now more great things happening here in the Coastal Bend, and people were celebrating. A local actor from Portland, Texas is starting to make a name for himself in the movie world as he stars in the feature film 12 Mighty Orphans. Our Sunrise reporter Cordero McMurray talks with 20-year-old Bailey Roberts from Portland, Texas on this episode of Pop Culture 101.
Name's Harvey Newell Russell. I'm the new math science teacher.
The football coach?
That's right.
Welcome to another episode of Pop Culture 101. I'm Cordero McMurray, and we have a special guest. You might have seen this actor in plays in local theaters around the Coastal Bend, or you've seen him in the trailer for the new film, 12 Mighty Orphans. Joining me is actor Bailey Roberts. Bailey, what's poppin', man? How's it going?
Hey, good morning. How's it going?
Doing good. Now, you're in this new film, 12 Mighty Orphans. It's supposed to release June 18th. Tell me about this film and your character.
Because it is a true story based off the book by Jim Dent, 12 Mighty Orphans. My character, Miller, he had a brother and a sister, and they went to the orphanage when they were pretty young, were raised there, and he was kind of the brainiac. And so to kind of like give perspective, I always say he's the like Squints from the Sandlot. He's the one, he didn't wear glasses.
We don't have the size, so we got to utilize what we do have.
The coach, Rusty Russell, showed up, took the job, and these kids, were extremely poor. Instead of a football, they used like a flour can wrapped in a sock, and that was their football because they didn't have any equipment, they didn't have anything. But they had the passion to want to play, they had the want to, and this coach was an orphan. He kind of instilled in these kids, just because you're here, it doesn't mean you can't go somewhere.
They're gonna want you to win. Everybody's gonna be behind a team with nothing.
How did you adjust from, acting in local theater to film?
I just would sit back and watch them and soak up as much as I could. Of course, I had the training and everything and the audition process, so I'd been in front of a camera multiple times, but I'd read someone's scene and I would say, okay, if I was in this position, how would I do it? And I would think about how I'd do it, and then I'd watch them do it, and I would be like, oh, okay, they didn't do that as big because, okay. I just watch and learn, really.
If you can believe in yourselves.
What would you tell kids who are, just trying to make it to the big screen or just get to that next big role?
Don't give up. I know as cliche as it sounds, they're cliches for a reason. Don't give up. Keep pushing. And in the meantime, make sure you're getting better. Don't stay stagnant. Count it as a blessing and an opportunity to get better.
Outside.
The thing about football is it teaches teamwork and discipline, and those are key elements to survival.
All right, well, the film 12 Mighty Orphans comes out in theaters June 18th. That's all the time that we have for today. To see the full interview with actor Bailey Roberts from 12 Mighty Orphans, visit our mobile app or website at christv.com. And guys, before we go, if it's pop culture, it goes through me. I'm Cordero McMurray, Chris 6 News.
Well, congratulations to that young man, and I hope that story inspires any aspiring actors, actresses, musicians, performers, or anyone in the entertainment industry to pursue your dreams, because being from Corpus Christi is not a crutch, it is a blessing, and we have a lot of talent to offer here in the Coastal Bend. Speaking of talented, we know Jocelyn is so talented at giving us fashion advice, which leads us to today's spring trend forecast.
Well, thank you for that, Miss Clarissa, and you're certainly right. It's time for that spring trend forecast, everyone, and we are springing our way into the summer season. And I don't know about you all, but I like to kind of stay dressed up and kind of have a little bit more casual outfit during the summertime, especially whenever I'm fishing. So why not talk about some fishing outfits while you're on the water? You can still be fashionable, and with that being said, support local. As always, we're always talking about that here on Coastal Living. Now, a lot of us love to fish in our favorite swimwear. I always like to keep one of my favorite bikinis, whether it be a one-piece suit or a bikini under whatever I wear while fishing, but it's important to stay covered. You don't want to get too sunburned. You want to keep your skin nice and healthy. So the first local brand that we're going to talk about is Red Tail Republic. One of my favorites because I'm always rocking some red tail shades while I'm fishing. Some of the best sunglasses while you're fishing, in my opinion. And also you want to make sure you're repping some of their apparel. Some of their cute leggings are my absolute favorite. I love that they come in a turquoise, they come in a gray, they even come in a bright pink for those of you who love that pop of color. I always love to rock some red tail apparel or shades while I'm on the water. So be sure to visit their Instagram for more ideas. And I also love that they have some cute headbands. Adorable. If I don't feel like wearing a cap while I'm on the water, I love to just add that headpiece. It just goes so well with the sunglasses too. All right, for the next brand, we're gonna talk about Real Sportswear. They have some of the best fishing shirts, caps, and you name it. And I love the fact that the brand is called Real Sportswear because you could just simply take your photo with your fish and it's literally like you just reeled it in with that Real Sportswear. And we also have our Real Moments highlight. And I love to rock those t-shirts while I post those photos every Friday. And that is your spring trend forecast for the week.
Jocelyn, we know there is no one better to give us that advice than you, so we appreciate it. And I mean, we all know I'm pretty low maintenance, so if I know Jocelyn's coming, I've got to level up and take some advice. So on that fishing trip, I'm going to collect all the things you mentioned and try to look my best. All right, guys, now we are off to a great start today, but we are just getting started. You know, chicken sandwiches are kind of a hit right now. We all remember that big craze around this time last year with the big old competition on who had the best chicken sandwich, but we're going to talk about some new ones that are going to be hitting your favorite drive-thrus really soon. Stay with us. We'll be right back on Coastal Living.
You're watching Coastal Living on KZTV, the only lifestyle show made in the Coastal Bend for the Coastal Bend.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.